Alright, again, we're May 15th in the main garden. I've got 64 tomato plants planted. The cups that you see around them are actually used for cutworm collars. I cut the bottoms off and plant the plant, then slip it over the top to keep the cutworms from crawling up and chopping my plants down like they did last year. I'm working on the drip system. I've got part of it installed. I'm using soaker drip line with 9-inch spacings. I try to put 3 emitters in a loop around each plant. Some have 4, but circles the root zone of the plant, and I could really measure my water that way. The emitters are 1 gallon per hour, so if I run it for 20 minutes with 3 emitters, I can get a full gallon of water to each plant. Each of my beds has its own shutoff. You can see my tomatoes are shut off right now because I'm not watering them but once a week right now, especially with these cooler temperatures. Excuse me. I've got different setups. This is a squash bed with a drip system, and in this I've just got the soaker drip line lined up, and there's emitters on each side of the squash plant, so they'll have 2 emitters. This bed over here is all cherries, small fruited varieties. Instead of circling them, because they don't need quite as much water, I just did a big long loop around each row. You also notice these are closely spaced. Cherries don't need quite as much room, and they can handle disease a little better. This bed here is a really good example. It's finished. Still got to get the silver film on it next week. Calling for frost tonight, so I've got to cover everything. But again, it's got a valve at the bottom, and then I've got 2 soaker drip lines coming off a section of mainline tubing, and then each plant has a circle around it down each row. Got another bed over there, another bed in the back, and then this bed here is beans that I planted last night. It was actually a spinach bed until last week. We pulled the spinach when it bolted. It was 80-degree temperatures, and now partially buried. You can bury these lines all the way, or you can leave them exposed. Either way is no real difference. I highly suggested that you look into drip irrigation. It's a great way to water. It's a little bit of work on the setup, but it saves you a lot of work and a lot of headache throughout the rest of the year.